Now, something that I've always been thinking about is Mel Gibson and his involvement in calling out the Epstein files. People have been calling him crazy, along with many others in the space for years because of some of these allegations that he's been making. But this video right here dives into some of that, and I wanted to watch it all with all of you and give you guys some context and my opinions on things. Let's take a look.
You believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information.
See, this is what's crazy is these types of things seem to just really not be talking about. People are just not sharing anything. They're keeping everything quite secretive, and we are not talking about politics in any way right now. This is not political, and I'm not getting into politics. I'm talking about controversy and terrible things that are going on.
That's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like. Could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff.
A matter of human hunting. And when a mind control slave...
Human, I don't even think I could say the word. But when you're going out and you're going to go capture some deer with your bow and arrow, that's what we're talking about here.
Such as myself was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods. I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton.
George Bush, Dick Cheney, Bill Clinton, she's saying that they were hunting her, stripped of her clothes, and out there hunting her in the woods. We've seen books and tales of this in the past, but is there truth to it? I mean, there's people saying that this stuff happened.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
So literally being called out by other people that are in the same space. These were child actors that were brought into this.
And that they're still in this business?
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about this before, right? Like, this is people, often from other countries, are being brought to Epstein Island. And while there, a lot of them think that they're getting their next big opportunity. Some of them that come to the United States, some of them think it's going to be their next big opportunity in acting. And really, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes there than just those children living out their dreams. Being accused of eating humans.
So after years of being blackballed by Hollywood, Mel Gibson just made a major comeback. After several videos of him exposing the industry and Epstein, all the way back in the 90s, leaked all over the internet. Mel was the last person anyone was expecting to be the good guy in this story because of all...
By the way, he's looking jacked in that picture right now. But yeah, everyone looked at him for years as being crazy because some of these allegations he was throwing out there. And now all of this is coming to light. And suddenly he's a hero that was the one that was actually spilling the guts of what's going on in the past, but just no one believed him.
All the high-profile controversies he had been involved in. But it turns out that he might be a lot of things, but he is definitely not one of them monsters on the files. And word on the street is, his refusal to join in on these ritualistic activities is actually the real reason why his career was buried. And
Now, when you think about all these really powerful people that are a part of these Epstein files and things that went on, they can basically dictate what happens to those that don't want to participate or that they think are going to be whistleblowers for the ongoings.
he warned us time and time again. He even produced a movie, Sound of Freedom.
By the way, I haven't seen this movie, but it's something that I definitely want to go take a look at because apparently it hints at things that went on at Epstein Island.
That was supposed to open up our eyes. And now everything is making sense. Whatever was portrayed in the movie, the reality is far far worse. Okay, so as most of you know by now, Epstein has been the #1 trending topic on the internet after over 3 million files, including thousands of videos and images of the elites doing crazy things to women, was released by the DOJ. The worst part is that
Women, not only women, also children.
These files aren't even everything. There is more evidence that they haven't put out because it has the power to turn the entire country upside down.
Which is why so many people are just being quiet and not saying anything about that. We have to wonder why law enforcement hasn't said anything, politicians haven't said anything, and it's all just being swept under the rug and said, just forget about it.
The files contained videos of girls getting chased around by Epstein and other grown men in just their undies. Some of these photos are so horrific that I cannot even describe them here. It's unclear what was done to them to get them in that state, but I'm pretty sure you know, just like I know, that whatever it was, wasn't good. In fact, in one of the emails Epstein sent to his people, he said, and I quote, "They are like shrimp. You throw away the top, keep the body."
That's disgusting and absolutely crazy. Are they literally talking about lives?
Girl, this docs just confirmed what we have all feared. And so far, not a single arrest has been made besides Epstein. And people are speculating that he might just be alive. And his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is in a luxury prison with a whole pet. You cannot make this up. And don't even get me started.
She's got a pet in prison. That's crazy.
On the 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
All right, sulfuric acid. I used to work in the chemistry business way before I was a teacher, way before I did anything here on YouTube. And essentially what sulfuric acid does is it melts anything that you put inside of it. Metals, and surely any type of flesh that could be dropped in there. If there's truth to this, which it seems that it is, he purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid, which could literally dispose of anything that he throws in it.
That Epstein reportedly bought in 2018. And do you know what this acid is used for, especially when it's in big quantities like this?
From Breaking Bad right here, they were doing all of their chemistry stuff, but yeah, it will melt anything.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. According to science, this acid can dissolve anything down to the bones, leaving no trace of anything ever. Now, for someone with the kind of track record Epstein has, it's safe to say that whatever he used it for probably wasn't legal.
People don't buy that much sulfuric acid. People don't buy sulfuric acid in general. So to buy a truckload, something was going on. He was melting something, and a lot of it.
Interestingly enough, he reportedly purchased it on the same day that the FBI opened a CST case against him. Now, while all this was going on, a name that kept coming up was Mel Gibson. And I know this might come as a surprise to some of you, because for the longest time, the industry convinced us that Mel was the bad guy, when it was actually the opposite. Do y'all remember his highly successful 2004 film, The Passion of the Christ, that he literally had to produce by himself because every studio refused to fund it? Because the industry did not want to talk about God. But guess what? Even after he did all that, he was slammed with anti-Semitic allegations again, with people claiming that he was fueling hatred toward Jewish people. And now a video of Mel talking about some of the sinister things he saw when he first came into the industry as a 25-year-old man has come up. He said he was initially taken aback because he didn't understand how everyone else seemed to be so comfortable with what was going on, except for him. Mel Gibson said this in 1998, and mainstream media portrayed him as a raving lunatic.
Yeah, and that's what this whole thing is about. That's why I wanted to kind of talk about Mel Gibson, because he was the one that was doing the right thing, looking at this space and saying, what the hell is going on here? Speaking up about it, and then everyone turned their back on him and looked at him as some nut job, didn't want to work with him, support him, watch his movies or anything.
He was talking about everything in the Epstein files. He was canceled before canceling became a thing. No studio wanted to work with him. He would only come back to relevance after making a film about Jesus titled The Passion of the Christ. Since no studio wanted to fund it, he had to use his personal money to make a Christian movie.
It's crazy.
Hollywood is the modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, Weird Town, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, that's not.
He was literally in disbelief that the things that were going on were actually happening, that the people that were involved were actually involved, and that people were looking at it like this was something normal.
I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real.
But it doesn't stop there. You see, after the industry successfully blackballed Mel, they replaced him with other people they could control. And one of those people was Jim Caviezel, the guy who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. Now, I don't know what these Hollywood elites did to Jim after making him their guy, but whatever it was enough for him to see the things they were happening behind the scenes. Mel Gibson and Jim then decided to expose it all in their movie, The Sound of Freedom.
All right, so he became the new Mel Gibson in the space, the new face that everyone looked up to. He saw crazy things as well. Him and Mel Gibson come together, put together this movie that exposes things that are going on in the space.
It was produced by Mel and directed and acted by Jim. The film grossed over $250 million on a $14.5 million budget, and it focused on exposing the CT industry. The story opens in Honduras, where a poor father, Roberto Aguilar, is tricked by a woman named Giselle, a former beauty queen posing as a talent scout, into letting his kids Miguel and Rocio participate in a fake modeling shoot.
You guys know what CT is, right? I think you do.
The kids are abducted and sold into CT. Jim's character arrests CP distributors and rescues Miguel from the bad guys. Now, after learning that Rocio was still in captivity in Colombia, he quits his job, despite bureaucratic limits on foreign operations, and vows to save her. He teams up with allies like ex-cartel accountant Vampiro and Colombian contacts. They run a sting in Cartagena, posing as buyers to expose even horrible CT underbelly. Now, at the time, people thought this was just a regular movie. But after everything we know about Epstein, it looks like this movie may have had some connection to him.
I mean, because of who produced the movie, it really does make you believe that it had some connection 100%. At the same time, when making the movie, they have to make it entertaining and all of that so people will watch the movie and so it doesn't completely flop and so it can bring attention to the topic itself of CT, as they call it. But I 100% think that there's connection just because of the two actors that produced and starred in the movie.
From fake modeling and acting scouts to horrible parties, this is the reality of the Epstein files. As usual, people had their thoughts, like this person who said, reading the Epstein files, it sounds like the billionaires let their own kids get raped by Epstein and others. Very sick. Another person said, Mel has been pushing out these conspiracy theories for a long time. He even acted in a movie based on a conspiracy theory.
This shows right here you have so many people on both sides. You have the people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. This is disgusting. It needs to be exposed. And you have the side of people that are saying, this is crazy. This never happened, in denial. Oh, there's nothing that's been confirmed yet. The Epstein files haven't been used in court to make anyone have to pay for prices for the things that happened. But we can still make our assumptions.
But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Mel exposing Epstein long before all this mess got out?
Yeah, and I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below what you think, one, of the Epstein files overall, and two, how Mel Gibson and many other actors and actresses, and not even people that are famous, but others that are affected by the Epstein files in some way, whether victims, whether actors and actresses that saw what was happening, or even people that were potentially participating. How do you think and what do you feel about them being vocal? Do you believe them, or do you think they're actually nuts like so many people once believed with Mel Gibson?